Yo, it's Vic, back with another video. Today I'm doing Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Chapter 2. Let's get into it. The title is called Tree, and Sarda is on the cover page. And the chapter picks up with Boruto, with Cole saying, "I've been looking for you, Boruto. I didn't expect you to show yourself so readily." So Boruto and Cole are staring each other down. And Cole says, "It makes me regret not coming to Konoha a lot sooner." And Boruto just gives him a blank stare, like Sasuke would. And Boruto says, "Withdraw your monsters, all of them. Do it now while you're still able to control them, and I'll let you live." And then Sarada looks shocked. Cole says, "Wait, hold on. What did you just say?" He said, "Did you forget how helpless you were against me 2 years ago? You got some nerve to tell me that you're going to spare my life," Cole says. Boruto says, doubles down and says, "Obviously you heard me. So hurry up and do it or else you'll lose more than just your left eye this time." So either Boruto or Sasuke gave Cole the scar on his left eye. And Cole says, "And here I thought I'd heard the worst of your bluffs. What can I do but laugh?" Cole says. Sarda says, "Boruto." Boruto says, without even looking at Sarda, says, "Sarda, there are lots of folks who haven't gotten away. Could you help them? I'll handle Cole." Sarda says, "Are you sure?" Boruto, without even looking back at her, says, "We'll talk later. Just stay alive." The same switches to Shikadai using the shadow paralysis jutsu against the claw grimes. And Chocho is rushing to attack one of them that's paralyzed. She punches and kicks one. Inogen and what's her name? Not Hinata. Inogen and Himawari are on his falcon, his drawn falcon. She says, "Wow." Chocho says, "They're not they're no big deal, just numbers," she says. And one claw grime pops out another one and tries to get the drop on her and tries to bite her. Shikadai says, "Chocho, behind you." And Inogen comes and swoops, saves Chocho, and flies away. Inogen says, "I told you not to let your guard down, Chubs." Chocho says, "I ain't fat, but thanks to Inogen." The claw grime does a tail whip and destroys his painting eagle, and they begin to fall. Himawari starts falling and says, "Oh." The claw grime jumps and tries to bite her. Inogen screams at Himawari, and Kawaki comes flying in like Superman and does a diving kick. He says, "Out of my way." Inogen looks back and says, "Kawaki." Himawari says, "Big bro." Kawaki then kicks the claw grime, but the claw grime uses his tail to bounce back and right itself, and he activates his Rinnegan. Himawari says, "Thanks, big bro." Kawaki says, "How many times do I have to tell you not to call me that?" Himawari says, "But." Shikadai says, "Hey, this one's different from the others, like he leveled up." And all of a sudden, the claw grime with the Rinnegan darts and teleports from one claw grime to another defeated one and pops up behind Kawaki. Kawaki senses him, but it's too late. He gets face palmed into the ground. Shikadai is in shock. He says, "Kawaki." With the claw grime's hand around Kawaki's neck, the claw grime mutters, "Otsutsuki." and then the Cloudgram roars. Shikadai puts him under a shadow paralysis and says, "Get out of there, Kawaki. I can't hold it for long." Kawaki activates his karma and says, "Otsutsuki, being called that pisses me off the most." And he blows him up with his karma activated, with the beam from his left arm. And then they say, "Whoa," and then more Cloudgrams start to appear. Shikadai says, "Damn it, there's no end to them. Just how many of them are there?" Kawaki says, "Doesn't matter, because we're gonna slaughter every last one of them." Scene switches back to Boruto and Code, where the Cloudgrams are surrounding Boruto. Boruto looks to see how many are approaching, and it looks like there's 4. And he slashes one that tried to dive at him, and he just cuts him clean in half, like Trunks did Frieza. Then more Cloudgrams come, and he slices all of them. He's just putting in just crazy work. It's like slicing all of them. It's like 8 of them he sliced. And he sheaves his sword back, Boruto. And Boruto says, "If you insist on pressing on, you'll lose every one of them." And Cole says, "I guess it wasn't a complete bluff," talking about his power. And Cole says, "And you're being cocky prematurely." He says, "And these don't even add up to a drop in the bucket," meaning the Cloudgrams, meaning he has more in the stash. He says, "Besides, they're just tools anyway." Boruto says, "You don't understand the true horror of of Ten Tails." Cole says, "What?" Scene switches again to Sarada fighting the Ten Tails. Fighting the Ten Tails Cloudgrams. And she's using the fireball jutsu to destroy a couple. And then she uses Chidori to take a couple more out. And she lets her guard down. And one teleports and tries to get the drop on her. And she almost gets attacked. But before that happens, 2 unknown ninjas are amazed at her power, asking what rank she is. And she says it doesn't matter. But when the Cloudgram tries to get the drop on her, the random ninja says, "Uchiha, behind you." He saves her from getting bit by the Cloudgram. And then they say Soegi, so his name's Soegi, who's getting bit by the Cloudgram. And he's screaming in pain. And it looks like he gets turned into a tree. And then Sarada looks to the other side and she sees another person getting turned into a tree. She says, "What the heck is happening?" The scene switches back to Code and Boruto. Code says, "I know plenty about Ten Tails, obviously. They devour Otsutsuki. Well, in truth, they're beasts that'll just instinctively bite anybody in their vicinity until they eventually run into an Otsutsuki." Boruto says, "True. That might normally be the case, but these ones are different, thanks to you enhancing them." And Cole stares back. Boruto says, "It ain't too late yet. You need to scrap them while you still hold their reins, or else we'll end up in the worst possible future for everyone." Cole doubles down and says, "What of it? When Ten Tails develops an Otsutsuki, it puts down roots and becomes a divine tree, leading to that planet's death. And my goal lies beyond that worst possible future." Boruto says, triples down, Bessie, and says, I'll say this one more time, Code. I'll let you live. In return, guide me to where the main body of Ten Tails is. Code says, "Give me a break, Boruto. Have you lost your mind?" Boruto, he then quadruples down and says, "I'll be honest with you, killing you was easy. So instead of dying in vain, why not do one act of good for the world?" Code says, "It's irrelevant, since you'll be the one dying." And then Boruto just had enough. He says, "I guess there's no cure for idiocy." And then the scene switches to his hand, and with him activating the Rasengan, Cole looks and says, Rasengan, what a one-trick pony." And there's like a wind or energy swirling around Boruto. And he says, "Rasengan, Uzihiko." And that's the end of chapter 2. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out.